Hi guys, so today we are going to be dividing mixed numbers. By the end of the hour, you should be able to convert mixed numbers to impropers, write a reciprocal, divide fractions, simplify by dividing common factors, simplify answers by changing improper fractions to mixed. Talk with your table. What on this checklist, on this I can checklist, do you already know how to do? Talk with your table. All right. So, as you can see, we just talked about we know how to convert mixed to improper. We know how to use a reciprocal. We know how to divide. We know how to simplify. And we change improper back to mixed. We are not actually doing anything new today. What we're doing is taking all the things we've learned and combining it into one type of problem. So let's go ahead and learn, how do you divide with mixed numbers? So using the key idea on the bottom of textbook page 80, use that resource of ours to answer this question in your notebook. How do you divide with mixed numbers? Take this time to answer that in your notebook.
So welcome to the video on dividing mixed numbers. Here we have 3 1/3 being divided by 2 3/5. And the first thing I like to do, and I wrote this for you in green, is to convert the mixed numbers into improper fractions and then divide. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to convert these mixed numbers into improper fractions. I'll start with 3 1/3. I'll convert the 3 1/3 into an improper fraction. Since our mixed number has a denominator of 3, our improper fraction is also going to have a denominator of 3. And in the numerator, we need to multiply the denominator of 3 by the whole number of 3. So 3. And then we need to add the numerator of 1. And this is all being divided with 2 3/5. So let's do the same thing with that mixed number. We're going to change it into an improper fraction. Since 2 3/5 has a denominator of 5, the improper fraction is also going to have a denominator of 5. And in the numerator, we need to multiply the denominator of 5 by the whole number of 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then we need to add all of that with the numerator of 3. So let's simplify these fractions as much as possible. In our first fraction, we have 9 plus 1 in our numerator. And we know that 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. And our denominator stays the same. And this is being divided with our second fraction, which has a 10 plus 3 in the numerator. And we know that 10 plus 3 is 13. And our denominator stays the same, which is 5. So now we have two fractions being divided with each other. And how do we divide two fractions? Dividing two fractions is exactly the same as multiplying when you flip the second fraction. So instead of dividing by 13 over 5, I'm going to multiply by 5 over 13. 5 over 13 is the reciprocal of 13 over 5. So now I'm going to multiply these two fractions. First, I'm going to multiply my numerators. In our numerator, we have 10 times 5. And now I'm going to multiply the denominators. In our denominator, we have 3 times 13. And now I'm going to scroll down a little bit just to give me a little more space. And now I'm going to simplify this even further. In our numerator, we have 10 times 5, which is just 50. And in our denominator, we have 3 times 13, which is 39. So now we have a final answer of 50 over 39. But since we divided two mixed numbers, our final answer also has to be a mixed number.
So that was a quick little clip on how to divide with mixed numbers. So this is a handout we handed out at the beginning of this chapter. So you can go ahead and try to find that handout in your notebook. And it breaks down how do we prepare? Well, there's a couple of different ways. If using a whole number, we learned that we put a denominator of 1 underneath. We convert any mixed numbers to improper fractions. And then if dividing, this third little box up here, remember we multiply by the reciprocal. So we keep that first value, change division to multiply, and flip our second fraction over using the reciprocal. Then we multiply and we simplify. So prepare mix numbers to improper, multiply by the reciprocal, and now we're ready to multiply and simplify. Go ahead and make sure that you have this written either on your handout if you could find your handout, or if you couldn't, you need to write it down in your notebook. All right, let's go ahead and look at an example here. Find 3 and 4/5 divided by 1/2. So first, we need to prepare our fractions. To prepare them, the first thing we need to do is take any mixed numbers and make them improper. So 3 and 4/5, we want to change this to improper by multiplying the 5 and the 3, and then adding the 4 onto it. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 gives us 19 over 5. Then we divide by 1/2 is already in fraction form. It's not a mixed number, so we just carry it down. The next step we do here to prepare is we never divide fractions, so we need to set it up so we're multiplying by the reciprocal. Remember, we keep the first value exactly the same, 19/5. We change the division to multiply, and we flip the second fraction over. So instead of 1/2, we're multiplying by 2 over 1. We've now prepared our problem. We can move on to multiplying them. So to multiply, remember we multiply our tops. 19 times 2, which is going to give us 38. And then 5 times 1, which is going to give us 5. Check. We're done with multiplying. Now it's our time to simplify. So we need to figure out how many 5s go into 38. And we can do that by doing some long division here. 5 into 38. 5 does not go into 3, but it goes into 38. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Looks like 7 times, which gives us 35. And 3 left over. So 7 is our whole number here, with 3 left over as our numerator over 5. 7 and 3/5. And we have simplified. I can check that off my checklist. So again, you need to prepare, then multiply straight across the top, straight across the bottom, and of course, we always simplify. Go ahead and you try one in your notebook. Remember, prepare it by changing mixed to improper, multiplying by the reciprocal. Then you can multiply and simplify. I'll pause the video while you try. All right, let's go ahead and check our answer for this one. So first, we prepared our fraction here by changing our mixed number, 8 and 4/7, to 60 over 7. Then we changed it to multiplying by the reciprocal. We multiplied to get 180 over 7, and we simplified to get 25 and 5/7 as our final answer. How did you do? Self-evaluate. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? If I got it wrong, did I fix it in my notebook? Why did I get it wrong? Where was my mistake? Let's go ahead and look at another example here. 2 1/3 divided by 4 3/5. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to prepare our fraction by changing any mixed numbers to impropers. So 2 1/3, remember we multiply and then add. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we really have 7/3 divided by, we've got to do the same for the other mixed number. So we multiply 4 times 5 and add in our 3 to give us 23 over 5. Now we can continue to prepare here by multiplying by the reciprocal. So 7/3 we keep the same, so 7 over 3. We change our division to multiply, and we flip our second fraction over. So now we have 5 over 23 instead. Now I am ready to multiply. I've prepared. It's time to multiply. And I do that by multiplying my numerators, 7 times 5. That's going to give me 35 over 3 times 23. That one I can't really do in my head. So on the side over here, I'm going to do some long multiplication. 23 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. So that gives me 69. 35 over 69. I've multiplied. And in this case, I looked out. There's nothing I can pull out of a 35 and out of a 69. So my answer is, in fact, simplified. So again, I prepared my fraction here by changing all of the mixed numbers to improper first. Then I multiplied by the reciprocal. One common mistake I see is people trying to flip their fraction over before they've changed mixed to improper. So I like to do it in 2 separate steps. If you try to combine it in one step, sometimes it can get a little mixed up. Let's go ahead and you try another one. Try this guy in your notebook. We will pause the video while you work. Let's check our answer. So again, I changed both of my mixed numbers to impropers. Did that right here. Then I continued to prepare by changing my division to multiply and flipping my second fraction over. I multiplied across to get 76 over 55. 55 fits into 76 one time with 21 out of 55 left over. I can't simplify any further. Let's look at another example here. 2 2/9 divided by 7. First, I need to prepare my fraction, 2 2/9. So I need to multiply and add, changing this guy to a mixed or an improper fraction. So 9 times 2 is 18 plus 2 is 20. Keeping my denominator the same. Divide by, I need to prepare this 7 as well by putting it over a 1. I'm not done preparing because I still technically have a division problem here. So I can change this division problem to multiplying by keeping my first fraction, 20 over 9, changing the division to multiply, and flipping my second fraction over, so 1/7. Now, in fact, I'm ready to multiply. So 20 times 1 is going to give me a numerator of 20. 9 times 7 is going to give me a denominator of 63. So I have prepared, I have multiplied. Now I'm on to simplifying. I need to think, is there anything I can pull out of a 20 and out of a 63? Don't think there is. I can't pull out a 2 from 63 or a 10 or a 4 or a 5. And those are all of my factors of 20. So I can't simplify any more, giving me my final answer of 20 over 63. Let's go ahead and you try this one, 5 and 2/5 divided by 3. We'll pause the video while you work. All right, let's go ahead and check our answer. We've prepared by changing our mixed to improper, our whole number into a fraction. Then we continue to prepare by multiplying by the reciprocal instead. That gives me 27/15. I need to simplify, so I get 1 and 12/15, but that's not as simple as it can get. I can divide a 3 out of both of those numbers to give me my final answer of 1 and 4/5. How did you do? Did you prepare by changing mixed to impropers? Did you continue to prepare by multiplying by the reciprocal? Did you multiply correctly? And did you simplify all the way down? Right? What I want you to do now is I did a problem up here, but there's a mistake. This is not the correct answer. Why? What happened here? Find the mistake. Right? As you can see here, we have a whole number and a mixed number, so we need to prepare those. So we're going to change our mixed number to improper, which it looks like they did correctly, 11/4. Then we need to change our whole number into a fraction by giving it a denominator of 1. But when I look here, they gave it a numerator of 1 instead. So there is our mistake. Let's go ahead and try another one. Find the error. What happened here? Work with your table to find the mistake. So now we're going to move on to some partner practice. So I want you to be working with your table, work together to help each other divide these mixed numbers. Make sure you show all of your work in your notebook. And remember, we prepare mixed to improper and using reciprocals. Then we multiply, and then, of course, we simplify.